This is Grant Troop for the Ag Reports Network, Mid-Atlantic correspondent, reporting from Nickel Mines in southern Lancaster County. And we've got another overcast day. Kind of got used to those this summer somewhat. And it's running a little bit cooler than normal this morning. This is a morning report. And we're looking north across some fields that have been harvested and then some standing corn. Give you an idea of the color of the corn yet here in the end of September. We've got a lot of green corn around. With the wet spring we had, a lot of corn was put in late, and guys did not adjust their growing season or day length of their hybrids. So they had the full season hybrids planted a little on the late side. Those hybrids are still pretty green, many of them in the field. And a lot of our local farmers here are waiting to harvest corn for silage. To get the corn dried down enough to put it in a silo. Some has been harvested, some not. You can also see in the background there, I believe, a harvested tobacco field. As we scan around, we'll come across heading northeast to east, and we have a field here, a cornfield that's somewhat dried down, a shorter season hybrid, planted a pretty good time here near the end of April. So it's dried down and starting to have some stalk issues, and we're hoping to be able to get this corn off before we get too much problem with standability issues. But there are some deterioration in stalks inside the field, and that could be a problem if we delay harvest. We scan back around. We're also at this plot of corn for Crow's hybrids, which I think now is going to be part of the Channel Bio group. And we're looking again at the rows of corn that did not receive that spring starter we talked about in an earlier report. This corn received a over-the-row application of nitrogen, but did not get the Infura seed treatment of fertilizer. And we had seen differences all season. And if we look at the first set of rows here, we see decent looking ears, corn stalks that are pretty well dried down and have lost their color and dried down pretty good. If you look at the leaves, there's disease lesions on the leaves that helped bring this corn to senescence. And if we look to the next set of rows where the starter fertilizer in the seed trench was used, we can see that the corn is quite a bit greener. Disease has not completely taken that corn out, and the ears appear to have a substantially larger size. Now, once again, it's a little premature to say just what the yield difference is going to be, but the visual difference has remained all season. Same planting day, same everything on these rows. And the only difference was the starter fertilizer, which had, based on 1034-0, a little bit of KTS in there, and a Stoller mix of product to help maintain some active roots and to manage stress. And we certainly had a stressful year. So I think perhaps that combination in this kind of year brings some utility to our fields. We can use that and see a response, and I think we're going to see a yield bump this year. Now, had it been a perfectly ideal year, sometimes those things don't show up, but in a year where there's stress, a lot of wet conditions, less than ideal heat units, and then mix in with the wet conditions in August, the prevalence of leaf disease, and if you can mitigate some of that stress in the plant, it looks like we've gotten a considerable yield response. And again, we'll try to get back after when we go in here with the combine, let you know just what this pans out, what kind of a yield difference we have. We've scanned down across the rest of the plot. There are various differences that you can see in the corns that are in the plot. Some that standing well and yielding pretty nicely. It looked like they have a good set of corn in these fields, pretty good population. Here's a particular hybrid, has some lean to it as you look out through the rows. Although it's standing well, it looks like only the tops of the corn here for the most part have a problem. and you're not too worried about that if you don't get breakage below the ear. And scanning on down through the hybrids, again another hybrid here showing a pretty good yield potential. Not quite the ear size we had in some of the other corn varieties in the plot, but it'll be interesting to see how these hybrids stack up. For the Ag Reports Network, this is Grant Troop, the Mid-Atlantic correspondent. For the crop progress update for Park the Plow, I would tell you again that this is a no-till plot, and it's one of our no-till farmers in the area, and he's been very successful in his endeavors in no-till. Till next report, good day.